How you all doing today? Is it May now? It's May? Already. Is it May? Almost a week. Almost a week in May. All right. First of all, I want to introduce our soloist this morning. An old buddy of mine. There he is. Bill Rotella is here this morning. Before we get started, I want to talk to Oliver for a minute. On the percussion, Oliver Brown. Get funky? And on the bass this morning, let me have a little conversation with Carl. On the bass, Carl Vincent. I woke up this morning with my mind. Let me hear you. Stay on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind. Stay on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind. Stay. Talking with my mind, stayed on spirit. There you go. Walking and talking with my mind, stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind. My mind was stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Dancing and singing with my mind. My mind was stayed on spirit. Dancing and singing with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Dancing and singing with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. It won't do no harm to keep your mind. Keep your mind, my mind, stay. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I woke up this morning with my mind was stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind was stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind. Give me one more. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Here we go. Hallelujah. You sound good this morning, Redondo. Say hi to each other.
Good morning, Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. And I wasn't even going to come today. I got a little bit of, why not? That is a great question. There's no reason not to be here today. I'm going to put in a little plug as well. I'm going to be out after service signing up for our wonderful annual family picnic in June. So stop by me and I'll tell you all about it. But why I'm up here today is, Lucy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
You're looking good. We have these wonderful ushers here with these wonderful green bags, and we're looking to give them away to a person or people that are joining us for the first time today. Any new people with us today? There's a young lady right there in the middle. Welcome. All the way in the back. Keep your hand up in the back out there. Thank you. If you're too shy to raise your hand, you can get one of those wonderful green bags. I think they're either giving away a cruise or a car. So there's a new there. So welcome. Today being Sunday, I guess the day after Cinco de Mayo, right? Everybody a little wiped out from a little bit of salt and tequila. No, we're all here happy. Andy, I know you are. So our wonderful musical inspiration today is Bill Rotella with the ukulele. I love that. Come on up and do some stuff, Bill.
There, Bill. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning. This is not a ukulele, this is a harmonica, not the ukulele. In case you're wondering, the trick show. That's coming up.
We want it to be educational as well, you know. So.
Musical instrument. Here's a song, one of my favorite songs by the what they call the singer called the Spiritual Beatle, and he wrote this song that's a devotion. Actually, he recorded the song as a recorded version for his love of God, right? If not for you, I couldn't even find the door. I couldn't even see the floor. And I'd be sad and blue if not for you. If not for you, the night would see me wide awake. The day would surely have to break. I'd be sad and blue if not for you. If not for you. If not for you, my sky would fall, the rain would gather too. If not for you, I'd be nowhere at all, I'd be lost. If not for you, the winter would know no spring. You couldn't hear a robin sing, I just wouldn't have a clue. If not for you. Not for you, my sky would fall, rain would gather too. If not for you, I'd be nowhere at all. I'd be lost if not for you. If not for you, if not for you.
Bill Rotella.
Thank you.
That's what I believe is to be a George Harrison tune. Thank you, Bill.
Nothing like a little Dylan in the morning. Thank you, Bill, Andy, Carl, Oliver, thank you. Wonderful, wonderful, really. So, hey, Dr. Moira today is talking about the topic of the divine within. And I thought about this week. I thought about the idea also of direct contact with spirit, which is what the denomination was referring to for us to study this week. And I found a book. I thought about Conversations with God. And it wasn't the usual one you might be thinking about, Conversations with God by Walsh. It was actually a book by Ernest Holmes, Can We Talk to God? So what do you think the answer is? Yes. You're right. Okay. So we need to kind of understand a few things that might make it a little bit easier as we do that. And first of all, are we talking to God or are we talking at God? So Ernest Holmes on page 3 of that book said that there can be no communication without a reciprocity of ideas. So this implies that we need to be receptive first, and also we know that that is something that we have to cultivate. So this takes us once again back to our thoughts. And having worked in schools for many years, as I know there are a few others out there who have, we spent time at blackboards. And so I just imagine that I have the eraser and I can get rid of that thought. And then I've got the chalk and I can write a new one in. And then, of course, I have to do standards. And I write it over and over and over and over again. Remember those? So Dr. Holmes suggests that we practice, he says, 30 minutes a day, thinking about ourselves being one with spirit. We can go within and imagine that we are a partner. And as we do this, eventually we realize that our thoughts and words have gone out to demonstrate in our lives. So he suggests that when we approach prayer, we first try to sense a union of spirit within us, and then go ahead and pray, or as we say, treat. Understanding that there is an intelligence, a force, and a power that is really working on our word. So we know our treatment is done when we can sit in the feeling that only good is going to come from that circumstance, that situation. I love what he said on page 10 of that book, Can We Talk to God? Holmes says, God speaks in a language more subtle than human language, one of spiritual emotion, of sense, feeling, intuition, instinct. It may be a hunch, maybe a vision, possibly a dream, but whatever it is, we can accept it as divine revelation to us. Eventually, there will be an influx of ideas. So I kind of had that experience a little at one point in my career. About halfway through, I considered making a major workplace change. So I thought about it for a period of time, and eventually I felt like, well, I should probably treat about this. And so I closed my eyes and treated and thought, and I got this image of a huge sailboat crashing on the rocks. So, needless to say, I decided to stay, and as it turned out, I did have many fulfilling years at that same location. So once we've had the experience of feeling that oneness with Spirit, then the soul knows, and we no longer ask for explanation of the presence or of its work in our lives. Ernest Holmes suggests that we practice a sense of union with Spirit in everything that we say and do throughout the day. And this gives value, dignity, purpose, meaning to every single effort. Finally, he says, watch for fresh ideas that come to you. Then trust and take action. It'll seem like a miracle has come to pass, but it's actually just Spirit's work in your life. So I even had a minor miracle take place in my life. After treating for some new experiences and new opportunities, guess what? My husband enrolled in dance lessons. Can you believe that? Yes. So it works. All right? So please repeat after me. I become still and connect with Spirit daily. I call forth the highest good in my life.
Call forth the highest good in my life.
And I see evidence of Spirit's work in my world.
I see evidence of Spirit's work.
And so it is.
And so it is. Let's stand and sing, God is my source. Who's your source? God is. Who's your source? I was watching an interview with a great spiritual leader. He was talking about how he keeps his life at one with Spirit. He was talking about the I am that I am, how he lives a life in gratitude. And that spiritual leader was Carlos Santana. Here we go. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. I give you thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything. Oh, let's do love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything. Let's do joy. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I. Let's do peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything. To God again. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything. Oh, let me hear you now. All right. Everything. Do it again. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I am. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. All right.
Is this on? Maybe? Yeah? could yell too, that works. Good morning. I have a message from Dr. Moira about last Sunday. Our volunteer event was a tremendous success. We had 25 new volunteers sign up for 11 different roles. All volunteers should meet at 12:30 in the sanctuary for a brief orientation on their role as a volunteer. And if you would still like to sign up to be a volunteer, it's not too late to sign up at the front desk. Visioning will continue with Dr. Moira on Mondays at 6 p.m. Peace Pole Day is today after second service. This is the day that we rededicate not only our peace pole, but our commitment to remain a sanctuary of peace. Women's Circle is today at 12:30 p.m. in the teen room. Men's Spirit Group meets Monday, May 7th at 7 p.m. in the teen room. Beginning Wednesday, May 16th at 7 p.m., Linda, I don't know how to say her last name, Linda Gautier and Caroline Gutierrez will be doing a new program called Metaphysical Laboratory, where you will interact with and practice the principles of science of mind. For more information or to sign up, Linda and Caroline will be in the foyer after service. The cost is $90 for the 6 weeks. The Arrowhead Retreat on Memorial Day weekend is full. We are taking names for a waiting list because sometimes places open up, so you can sign up for the waiting list at the front desk. The bus to Arrowhead still has room, and it's an easy way to make the trip. The cost is a bargain at only $50 for the round trip. We always have practitioners on duty. Look for them under the practitioner sign in the foyer. We also offer prayer circle after both services. If you would like to be a part of it, please come to the grand piano after service. Please remain seated for the meditation song.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
And so, beloved presence, in this moment now, I am grateful to be here and now, present, open, and receptive, to truly and deeply allowing myself to know, allowing myself to feel that I am in the sacred presence of life, and life's sacred presence is in me. And to get that at a much more conscious level of awareness. For therein lies the answer to all of my life's questions and all of my life's ailments. To be in the presence consciously, knowing that the presence is in me. For where that presence is, there cannot be anything else. For where God is, only God is, and nothing else. So I'm allowing myself now, this sacred moment, still moment, quiet moment, to think that less and feel it more, so that I can experience what it is to be in communion, in union with the lover of my soul. And then all is well. All is very well. when I am one with my source. So in this, I feel the blessing. I am open, I am receptive to knowing myself as Spirit knows me, to experiencing myself as Spirit experiences me, to feeling that sense of self as Spirit feels the sense of me. And then I'm free. I'm free of all that is not true. I am free of all that is non-intelligent, unwise, erroneous, all of that which does not belong to me. And so I bless the source of my being, and I allow that blessing to seep into every aspect of my being, mind, body, heart, and soul, and the great body of my affairs. So the blessing can indeed integrate all into one great, glorious, wonderful life experience, which is why I'm here, and what I'm for and about. To know myself as I have first been known. And when I do, then I know all of life as that one great, glorious experience of the divine, in form, in such a beautiful diversity. So from this state of open receptivity to true expression, and in that state of blessedness, I release this that I'm knowing for myself in all life, knowing that that is how it is responded to by life's own law and moved upon by life's own law and brought into experience as a result of the movement of life's own law, as I say. And so it is.
Our thoughts are prayer, and every our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
So, my dear ones, moving ahead into May, what is it that we're looking at as far as our whole community is concerned? And it really is a more fully and deeper examination of what the law of life is. Life and its law, law in life. And as you may know, that law is simply a way of doing things, a way of coming to realize so many things, and a way of creating things. The law is how we do and go about the business of life. And so the key is to know the law, understand the law, and apply the law, to use the mechanics of the law, any law. I mean, I learned that when I was first learning how to ride a bike as a very small child. I had to learn the mechanics of how to ride a bike. And of course, that was painful at times. Same thing when I was learning how to drive a car. I had to understand the car and the law of the mechanics of the car too. And then work according to the law of driving a car or riding a bike or anything else. And it's so beautiful when you look at that and you see that, how lovely the law works in so many ways in our lives, but only because we're applying the mechanics in the correct and right way. It's no different with spiritual law. When we understand it and its way, when we apply its principles, all is very well. So, in order for you and for me to flourish and to thrive, we're going to move into a deeper awareness and understanding of the mechanics of spiritual law. the mechanics of a voice, for example, you know, what makes it work and what interferes with it working really well, and so forth. It helps, like if you have a glass of water near you or a lozenge in your pocket. Of course, you have to have a pocket for a lozenge to be in it. I can see people rummaging in their bags and purses. Ask and you shall receive. Or just, in other words, hint. There you are, both instantly. I did that intentionally to show you the law at work. It's true, it's true. It keeps us humble. It's been the story and the education of my life. The law will always keep us humble, that's for sure. And I'm glad, because humble is a good way to be. Last night, I was desperate. Desperate to download a book. It took me forever, because I don't like to download books. I don't want to download books, because I'd rather read a book than download a book and read it that way. But this book excited me like a book has never excited me before, because earlier on in the evening I'd been listening to a television program, and these children, grown-up children, of this amazing, wonderful Swedish professor who is an art academic and a statistician and scholar and so on and so forth, and a renowned, it seems, public speaker, had written a book very recently called Factfulness by Professor Daniels. I can't remember his first name. And it was so different and so refreshing and so real that I couldn't wait to go out and buy the book. I wanted it, and I wanted it now. And so I downloaded it. And it was based on this one thing, and I recommend everybody read it and study it, because I think it's a handbook, more or less. And it was based on these truths, that there is an inherent tendency in humanity, it's been nurtured and nourished, to go negative more than go affirmative. That we have this inbred sort of tendency to go to the worst case scenario before we go anywhere else. And as I was sharing this morning, that shows up all over the place. You go to a mechanic, he'll give you the worst case scenario. You go to a doctor, they'll give you the worst case scenario. They have to, they tell you, to cover themselves or whatever it is. You go to your friend and they'll give you the worst case scenario with regard to this relationship or whatever. And so that's where we're used to going. That is where we are so used to going. And our tendency, therefore, thank you, is leaning toward the negative rather than to affirmation. And so that's the premise of his work. And he said, when you look out into the world, because of how media represents what's going on, it looks very, very dour and gloomy. And it looks like we're going to hell in a handbasket. Now, he didn't use those words. I'm using those words. It looks like that. It looks like that. But he said, that's so not the truth. He said, in fact, the truth is life has never been better. The world has never been better. The world is in a better state than ever it was ever before. But it's not sensational, and it's not going to sell when you want to represent these facts. And he goes into giving you researched facts, researched data, real data to back up what he says. And he said the problem is nowadays everybody forms ideas, well, not everybody, but too many of us, too much of the time, form unresearched, unexplored thoughts, ideas, and opinions. And we pass them on, we believe them, we pass them on, and we call them the truth. And they're so not the truth at all. They're far from the truth. He brought me back to Byron Katie's questions that we always ought to ask ourselves. First one is this the truth? Whatever it is, whatever opinion is being shared, idea is being shared, thought is being shared, fact is being shared, belief is being shared, is this the truth? And if it is, can I know it's the absolute truth? And if it's not the truth and it's not the absolute truth, why am I presenting it as though it is. Why am I believing in it if I can't absolutely say that this is the truth? So he says that is the proven tendency in our psyche mind at the moment, across the board for the most part. But it's not the truth. The truth is life is better than ever it was before. The world is in a better state. And he says because we're so doomy and gloomy and into the worst case scenario, we therefore are not feeling safe within our world. We do not feel safe. There's no sense of safety anymore for most of us. And therefore, we have to wake up. Thank you. This is how the law works. Now, this is herbal medicinal tea. Here's to you, everybody. Cheers. L'chaim. My props. My props. Now, if that's the truth, and I just felt that this resonance within me, that this is a wonderful thing to be hitting the market at the moment. Factfulness, and I suggest we all get a copy of it. I'm sure I'm going to get some for the bookstore, but like me, you probably won't be able to wait for that. And so the thing is to bring ourselves up out of that sense of sensibility, and it fits in beautifully with our talk today, or our message today, which has to do with the divine mind within us. And it's all about divine mind within us. And as Ernest Holmes says, he says, what's happening with us is this, that we're making all of our judgments not from the parent one mind, but from, he says, eternal facts. He mentioned eternal facts. I couldn't believe it. This was fact everywhere last night. Anything I looked at, I put it. And the first thing I read from Ernest Holmes' work was this, that we're living from eternal facts and not from the parent one mind, as far as our judgments are concerned. So the call for you and for me this week is to watch ourselves with the way we're spewing opinions as though they're truth, facts as though they're truth. Why? Because your friend told you, or you heard some announcer say it, or you whatever. But it's not something you have researched yourself. It's not real data. It's not researched. It's not explored, is it, by you yourself, to make sure that maybe there's just some truth to this. So here the thing is, you have at your disposal, and I have at mine, the truth itself, infinite intelligence itself. And the only way I'm going to be able to research this truth is to be still, to be quiet, to shut up and listen. To listen into the truth that will loudly, thunderously speak to me if I can be still enough and quiet enough and do this. And the whole thrust of everyone's message at the moment is listen, as far as metaphysics are concerned or spirituality is concerned. External action is not enough. Internal action must be going on. And the internal action is listening beyond words, beyond thinking, just creating a listening space wherein you do not analyze, you do not judge, you do not ponder it, you do not think it, you just wait and listen and be still. And the only thing that's going on in you is gratitude and praise and gratitude and praise bundled up in love. So the only thing you're asked and I'm asked to do when we're being still and knowing and we go on the inside is to be grateful, praising, and love-filled. And then everything is revealed. Wisdom herself reveals, shows up, and informs us with real data and real fact and truth itself. That's what we're called to do now. that we're more informed, now that we understand why we get so gloomy at times, why we're tending toward negativity rather than affirmation. And I'll tell you why too. It's because you and I are disbelievers. You and I do not have faith. You and I are just in the process of coming into knowing what that is all about. Because if we believed, we wouldn't be doomy and gloomy. We wouldn't be going to the worst case scenario. We would not at all even look in that direction or go near that energy. We would not. And this has nothing got to do with being a Pollyanna or burying our heads in the sand either. You either believe that there is a power and there is a presence greater than you are, and it is at center core being in you, and that it truly is accessible to you, and that you can use that power, that infinite intelligence, and you can, out of its usage, create all kinds of great good in your life and all life. And that's the truth. And that's what we're asked to know. And when you know, there's no need for belief. There's no need for faith. Because you know that you know that you know. We're not knowing. We're not even believing. Not in truth. We're believing in facts. We're believing in conditions. We're believing in situations with great opinions about them. And we're absolute in our statements around them. But we are not believing in the truth that sets us free. 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 A woman on the radio once upon a time, a long time ago, heard one of our greatest metaphysical teachers speaking on the radio, and was in a situation whereby she was diagnosed as incurable and so on, and time was running out and so on. She asked her husband to go out and get the books. The husband went out and got, Frederick Bales was the man, went out and got the books, and he read the books to her. She said, please read me the books. He read the books to her. By the time he was finished reading all the books, there was nothing wrong with the woman. Nothing. Not a thing wrong with the woman. She then was open and receptive to the truth that set her free of any condition or situation and so on. Now, this is not just for the awesome people out there who truly get it. It's for you, it's for me, it's for all of us. There are no privileged ones. None at all, except all of us. All of us have that privilege. So, what you and I truly are coming into the awareness of, everything I've ever longed for, everything I've ever ached for, everything I've ever yearned for, everything I've deeply desired, has absolutely nothing to do with persons, places, and things. And when I achieve and succeed with the persons, places, and things aspect of it, I'm still not satisfied, I'm still aching, I'm still longing, I'm still yearning, I'm still desiring. So what is it all about? It's all about what Augustine said many moons ago, and all the mystics. Oh, you have made us for yourself, O God, and our hearts cannot rest until they rest in thee. Augustine would speak of God in tones like this: I pant for you, God. When did you last pant for God? I pant. It's so strong, it's so visceral, it's so all empowering and embracing. This longing, this ache for God. It's a sensual thing even. And sensuality is a beautiful, wonderful thing. Without it, you and I could not appreciate a rose and its fragrance, etc. We're all sensual creatures, thanks be to goodness. And when was that something in your experience? Oh yes, and then another mystic in the scriptures, in the Psalms, and they're all different ones, although that's all attributed to the one David. But anyway, like the deer that yearns for running water, so my soul is pining and yearning for you, my God. Another one. Every night I drench my bed with crying, and in the day I drench my couch with tears. I'm like parched land that longs for water. You read any of them, and you'll go into a whole lot of this stuff. They move through phases. We all move through phases like this. It's that longing and the yearning to know the self. That's all. The ache is to know the self. The yearning is to know the self. The longing is to know the self, to recognize the self right here. And it has nothing to do with my mortal human personality, egoic monkey mind. Nothing to do with that. It has to do with the divine mind's own deep desire within me for me to wake up and know it as myself in form. How many which ways can I say this? That's what it's all about. That your whole life is about. My whole life's about. And let me tell you, I don't care what you're up to out there, no matter how good it is or bad it is or indifferent it is, it's not going to add up to a hill of beans until you and I get it. That it's all about the inner job that you and I came in here to take care of. And once we do, then we become this phenomenal power for change and upliftment and advancement in all of life. But until that happens, we're bumping into everything and everyone. And we're doing a bit of good here and a bit of good there, but the knockage and the blockage over here does away with a bit of good over there, and this and that and the other, and so on. And we're in that labyrinth that we can't get out of. We can't find a way out of. And the labyrinth, it's the labyrinth of the human mind, the mortal mind. And it'll take us everywhere and anywhere, up the airy mountains and down the rushy glens and all over the place, and bring us back to the one spot, our own human selves. You have made us for yourself, O God, and our hearts cannot find rest until they rest in thee. And do we believe the good stuff? No, we're proving the man's point. We're not believing even the enlightened ones, the awakening ones who tell us over and over again about how this amazing thing called life is so enamored with us, so in love with us, so absolutely riveted with us and attentive to us. And it's all over. And we even anthropomorphize God. The mystics do at times, in their aching, in their longing. Oh, my people, what have I done to thee? How have I grieved thee? Answer me. Did I not draw you by the cords of compassion? Did I not knit you together in your mother's womb? Did I not carve your name on the palm of my hands? Do I not love you with an everlasting love? Have I not given to you all of the kingdom, O my people? What have I done to thee? How have I grieved thee? Answer me, answer me, answer me. It is I, your God, and none other. But I will not let you go because I am God, and you are my people. Oh, my people. Do we believe any of that? Do we really? Honestly, deliberately, intentiously, consciously believe that? How could the greatness of all itself, the all-knowing, the all-loving, the all-giving, mean that for me? Do you believe it? These are rhetorical questions. I don't want you to lie. Do you believe it? Because if you believe it, you'll never ache again. You'll never long again. You'll never yearn again. You'll never know what it is to be separate again, to be fragmented again, to be outside of the ring. You will have that sense of connection and belonging and intimacy with life in all of its aspects and all of its richness and fullness and diversity. First here, pulsating within yourself. And then, gloriously enamored and in awe of the diversity you'll find the divine in out there, especially when the divine is in disguise, deeply in disguise, and you wouldn't have a clue that this is the divine in expression, in form. Oh, my people. Oh, my people. Do you not know that you are as gods? Do you not know that I am with you always and always shall be? And never, ever will there be a moment when I am not with you. Oh, my people, do you believe? Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible. Wow. Only believe. Dr. Professor Daniel says, we must not only become optimists, we must be possibilists. We must know good is possible. We must know union is possible. We must know togetherness is possible. We must know that we can come up and step out of that dualism that tells us only right, wrong, in, out, good, bad. And in that tendency that we have to go into that negativity, we choose to blame and shame one person or one group or one culture or whatever. We're not ourselves. We forget ourselves. And you see, here we are coming into this life to be its song of life and its energy of love. We get up every morning with the spiritual intention of going out there and loving the world and all therein. That's our spiritual intention. But we are never going to become the universal lovers that we are until we first become the local lover of the self right here where I am. Present now. Oh, my people. Is it going to be different? Are we going to leave this great room today changed, charged with the understanding that truth is not to be played around with, and that truth is not facts, and truth is not data, and truth is not opinion or idea? Truth is a whole amazing, infinite, cosmic power, energy that is awesome in its omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence, and it's ours to safeguard like a holy grail and to not exploit it in any way, but to allow it to flow through us at the behest of the lover of our souls, and for you and for me just to be its channel. Oh, my people, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I hold you with a love that will not let you go. Oh, my people, you are mine everlastingly, and in my own dwelling shall you dwell forever and ever. And guess what? We're doing it already. Oh, my people. You are indescribable. No words to express the true essence of your being. No way to get words that could do that well enough for you to rise up and say, by Jove, I got it. There are no words. It's a feeling. It's an energy that rises. It's a power, and it's you. And so it is. I feel spoiled and pampered, and I feel the presence. You see, this is the presence, does this for you. I mean, look, when the presence can present you with a lovely cup of tea in the middle of your work, I mean, that's just something to go into the journal, isn't it? And now, I'm going to remind you that we have a little get together for our volunteers. We had a wonderful time last week, great success. We got some wonderful volunteers signing up, and those of you who are here, please do join go to the Richelieu Hall for a little bit of an orientation. You won't be held more than 15 minutes, I promise you. And then for the rest of us, we'll be out there at the Peace Pole, and we'll be celebrating the fact again that we are a peace sanctuary. So it is my delight to be able to share this wonderful gift with my spiritual community, and to be in gratitude for each and every one of you, because without you, we wouldn't be a spiritual community. So let's take our gifts in our hands and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is.
I have a really nice congregational song to share with you, but I need to lean on you a little bit on this song here. So I need some hands, and you guys want to sing. This is going to be a good singing song, so give me this right here. Strong, and I'll be your friend. Well, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till you're gonna need somebody to lean on. I said, please swallow your pride. If I've got strength, you need to borrow, for it won't be long till you're gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, if you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem, you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me if you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. Well, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till you're gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call.
You'll need somebody to lean on.
I just might have a problem. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me if you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. Well, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. I said, if there is a load that you can't bear, that you can carry, I'm right up the road, and I'll bear your load. If you just call me, baby, just call me. You can call me, just call on me. Hey. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you.
Today, giving us all those wonderful, wonderful songs and great energy. And of course, we have Carl over here too today. Great on that guitar, wonderful. And as always, we have the Oliver, and indeed himself. So thank you all for the beautiful music. It's always wonderful to be part of it all. Thank you and every one of you here for investing in your spiritual unfoldment, for all the good that you've done, for all your good thoughts, all your good ideas, all your good deeds. It's making the difference. So have a splendid week. Stay conscious. Stay open to examining only the truth. And I'm telling you, the week will be just solid, marvelous. And I'll see you out at the Peace Pole, and I'll see the volunteers in Richelieu Hall. And so we're going to have our prayer now, and we're going to dedicate it to the truth in each one of us that sets us free. I know divine love enfolds me. Divine light leads me. Divine life lives in me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me. And divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love, and you are it. So let's have our song now.